I've been on this earth for 22 years and I am self-employed. I am my own boss. I woke up at probably 12:45 p.m. today. Yesterday I woke up at 2:20 p.m. The day before that, 1:40 p.m. And I stayed in bed for 20 extra minutes every single day. Why did I do that? Because I can. Because I'm my own boss and I set my own schedule. And how am I my own boss at the age of 22? Because I quit my job. I quit my job. It's literally that simple. Now let me give you guys some context, okay? For those of you who are new to my channel, let me tell you a little bit about my personal backstory. So if you go back on my channel, I started working at H&M July 2019. July 2019, I got a job at H&M, which is a retail clothing store. It was a cool job. I was making $11.25 an hour, which at the time was by far the most money I had ever made at any job. And the reason why I got that job in the first place was because I had dropped out of school to be a YouTuber. So I had already taken one risk in dropping out of school, really just to be self-employed, but I just kind of fell into YouTube. And I realized very quickly that I needed money to invest in my equipment, to invest in my YouTube career. And so I went and got a job and started working at that job to accumulate money, accumulate resources to invest into my career. Right? Which YouTube nowadays is how I pay my bills. It's what enables me to wake up whenever I want and just basically live the type of lifestyle that I want to live. Now, with that being said, okay, I took this job in order to fund my YouTube career. And basically for the majority of my time there, I was spending my money on equipment. I spent my money on some bullshit, I'm not going to lie to you, but by and large, I spent my money on equipment, okay? Thousands of dollars. At least $3,000 was invested into my YouTube career before I ever saw a single penny from my channel. Okay, now, what enabled me to take that level of work ethic and that level of dedication and apply it to YouTube, which seemingly was a pipe dream for me at the time? It was my desire for freedom. It was my desire for freedom. I love doing YouTube. I do. Okay, the creative expression, the ability to help people, it really ties together a lot of things that I like doing. But the number one reason why I love doing YouTube more than anything else is the freedom that I have. The freedom to wake up when I want, the freedom to go to sleep when I want, the freedom to dress how I want, the freedom to say what I want when I want, and just be myself every single day and live according to my own terms. Live by my own rules. That is what inspired me to put forth that level of dedication and to have that level of resilience that I needed to kickstart my YouTube career. Now, with that being said, it also took a certain level of desire for freedom to develop the courage to quit my job in March of 2020. You see, by around February of 2020, I realized that I no longer needed to be working at that job. Okay, once I had it in my mind that I wanted to be a full-time YouTuber, and I truly programmed my subconscious mind to believe that I was a full-time YouTuber. And when I say I programmed my subconscious mind, that means that I would spend hours upon hours, day after day, visualizing myself being a full-time YouTuber. I started moving like a full-time YouTuber. I remember one time when I was at work, I grabbed a sticky note and I wrote down what a day in my life as a full-time YouTuber would look like. I even took a trip to LA in January of 2020. And in those 4 days, I experienced life as a full-time YouTuber. Okay, I exposed myself to the possibility of being a full-time YouTuber to the extent that the exposure became my expectation. The exposure turned into an expectation. I expected to wake up and make videos. And so once I realized that my work schedule no longer enabled me to live the life that I felt like I should be living, I quit. It didn't take me very long to develop the courage to quit my job because I wanted to live my life a certain way. I wanted freedom. And so I quit my job. Now, a lot of people, this is where they get stuck. Okay, they're afraid to quit their jobs. They're afraid to quit their jobs because they're afraid of losing that sense of security that comes with having a stable income or a stable work environment. A lot of people, the reason why they're afraid of quitting their job is not even a financial reason. They say it's financial, but the reason why they're afraid to quit is because they're afraid to leave their old selves behind. Because when you make that type of transition in your life, it involves the death and subsequent rebirth of self. You have to completely reinvent yourself. You have to become a new version of you, because the old version of you is not compatible with the life that you're striving to live. Okay, and that is why you have to start letting go of things. And a big part of that is going to be your job. A lot of you guys, you're working full time at these jobs. Okay, you're spending so much of your time, so much of your life, not your time, your life, because what is your life composed of? It's composed of time. It's composed of days, minutes, hours. Okay, you're putting in 40 hours a week, 40 hours of your time. That's 40 hours of your life a week that you will never get back in exchange for money. You can always get more money. Now look, I understand that you might be in a financial situation where maybe you don't have the support system that I might have had. But at the same time, you also don't have the risk tolerance that I had and still have to this day. Because I've always been of the mindset that I am prepared to lose absolutely everything. The roof over my head, the clothes on my back. I'm willing to lose everything in order to see to it that my dream life comes into fruition. Now, if you're not willing to do that, you can't complain when you don't have the results that I have. Okay, because anybody who's made it to this point in life, especially at my age and in the time frame that I was able to do it in, that's a person who is not risk averse. You can't be risk averse and expect to live a life of freedom, because with freedom comes the lack of structure, and with the lack of structure comes the lack of stability. You see, this YouTube stuff, it doesn't matter how much money you make on it, it's not guaranteed like a paycheck is. But as a lot of people learned during the pandemic, your paycheck isn't guaranteed either. Okay, when people started getting laid off of their jobs, and if that's you, obviously, I'm not saying that that was a good thing, but it might be a good thing for you. It might actually be good that you got laid off of your job, because even though it put you in financial distress, it served as a wake-up call for you to learn that there's no such thing as true stability. The only stability to be found is in following your purpose to the fullest capacity that you possibly can. And when you're working at this bullshit job that has nothing to do with what you're genuinely passionate about, has nothing to do with your natural proclivity for whatever it is that you're naturally gifted at, you don't need to be giving your life to that job. You don't need to be loyal to this job. That job isn't doing shit for you. It's not. It's not doing anything for you but keeping you stuck where you are. For what? How much money are you making at that job? Okay, I always said this, even before I started YouTube. I used to always say I would rather make $50,000 a year working for myself than to make $500,000 a year working for someone else. That was my mentality. That's how bad I wanted it. It's not about the money for me. Is money nice? Yes, it is. But freedom is what I was after. I wanted the freedom. And that's what I have. And guess when I got that freedom? I didn't get that freedom the moment that I was monetized on YouTube. I found that freedom the moment that I put in my 2 weeks notice at H&M, March 9th, 2020, when I had $621.32 in my bank account and 700 subscribers, nowhere near getting monetized yet. That's when I found the freedom, because I decided to live life on my own terms. I decided to become a full-time YouTuber. The only thing stopping me from becoming a full-time YouTuber was myself. My refusal to let go of the sense of security, the illusion of security that is, that I had established in my life. The moment that I quit that job, I became a full-time YouTuber. I started moving like a full-time YouTuber. I was filming videos pretty much every day. And a couple months later, guess what? The money started to follow. The money started to follow because I committed to it. You have to be willing to commit to your dream life if you want to make it happen. That vision in your head is there for a reason. You can't be over here trying to play it safe and expect to make major moves in your life toward the life that you see in your mind for yourself. the life that you feel is right for yourself, the life that you feel aligns with the truest version of you. I've seen a lot of people who could really do big things, amazing things in their lives. They have such big dreams and aspirations for themselves, not only themselves, but they want to help the world. But they're afraid to let go of a bullshit job. Let go of that job, man. That job isn't doing anything for you. You think that it's a safety plan, but all it's doing is keeping you from your true safety plan, which is your purpose. I promise you, look, I promise you, if you follow your purpose with genuine intentions, you will be divinely supported. You can make of that what you will. If you believe in God, if you believe in luck, whatever it is, man. But you will be supported if you follow your purpose. If you do what resonates with your heart and your gut, your intuition, and your soul, you will be divinely supported. You have my word.